So for today's Let's Talk Jinx, a weekly Jinx video we do every Wednesday about anything to do with Jinx. I decided for this video that we're going to actually talk about the runes that are on the PvE now, and we're going to discuss that in a little bit. Of course, as usual, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and all of the YouTube jazz, bell notification, etc, etc. But for this topic, why I kind of want to talk about this is because they're giving us the exact stats. We have briefly talked about this in the past, but one of the things, just a visual representation so you guys can see what exactly runes that there are. But also one of the questions I want to pass off to you guys over the course of this video is, do rune pages kind of have to stay, I guess, very narrow and limited to what Jinx is allowed to take, because stats are now separated from the rune pages, right? Like before, you go Precision, let's say Fleet Footwork, Triumph, Alacrity, Coup de Grace, into Sorcery, Celerity, and Gathering Storm, and then there'd be a bunch of like attack speed or attack damage linked because you went from Precision to Sorcery, versus if you went from, say, Resolve to something, you'd get a bunch of health. So you can never go the Resolve tree, even if you thought it might have been appealing to get something like Demolish for towers or something like that, because you would not get the stats and the stuff from the runes that you would really benefit from as a champion. Well, here what they've done is you can go that route, Precision Sorcery, but down here is where all of these stats now are that are separate from these trees. No matter what these were, the stats will be down here, and they're not dictated by what you took. It's not, I don't have these here. First of all, these are preset anyway, but these aren't here because I went Precision Sorcery. These are here because this is just whatever you want to take afterwards anyway. The only restrictions is that one has to be an offensive out of these three, and one has to be a defensive out of these three. But beyond that, you can kind of take some of the same ones, and I'll show you what they are too, real quick here. On the offensive, the top one, you have Adaptive Force, which is pretty much like adaptive damage based off of if you're taking attack damage or ability power. And since Jinx is a physical damage champion, that pretty much means like 10 AD right here in a rune. Then there's attack speed, of course, which Jinx will probably want to, or maybe not because she has a built-in minigun. That's kind of, I guess, depending on you watching the video, what do you think you're going to want more of because of the way Jinx's kit is built. And then finally some CDR in case you wanted some CDR. I don't know, maybe that's for more off-meta stuff when it comes to Jinx, but just in general. So like when you know for general rune pages and when you play champions in general, what these runes kind of are, period. The second one is kind of like Flex. What the Flex one is pretty much the double one, right? This is offense, this is defense, this is the one where you could kind of like juggle it a bit. So you can take some more adaptive force, like, AD right here. You can flex some armor for 5 armor, and then you can take some magic resist. Now on the defensive one, it's defense only, but you got scaling health, 15 to 90 health based on level. You got some more armor or some more magic resist. So pretty much just to real quick explain the flex one, because that maybe is like a little bit confusing, right? It means that if I wanted to go up here and take adaptive force, I could take another adaptive force here because this is the rune that can be either or. This is the one that has to be an offensive one, and this is the one that has to be a defensive one. So I can't take like 30 adaptive force, by the way. It has to at some point be some sort of either armor, magic resist, or scaling health. Now they might, and they've talked about this, it's not confirmed yet though, they might add a 4th slot with like an extra, stat for all of these in the future. This is the PvE, so nothing's set in stone just yet. This won't hit live probably until November as it is. But like for Jinx, you might want to go attack speed, a little bit extra attack speed for the minigun, so that way the minigun's even better with its DPS. Some extra, adaptive force for trading in lane, maybe last hitting some minions very well, and then maybe some armor because we mainly lane against other AD carry champions, which do AD damage, so you're going to want that armor against them. But when a mage does come into a matchup, maybe you want to switch to the magic resist, and that way you do a little bit better. When things like Swain, Cassiopeia, Ziggs, maybe even Azir, Zyra, just, even mage supports, Brand and all of them are down there. You can switch to have more magic resist. But the thing I also want to talk about is the fact that once again, it's not gated by taking these specific rune pages of getting these stats, right? Like an example that I kind of use, not a great example, but if I was going against someone that I just really didn't like and I kind of wanted to turtle, scale up, and not really have to trade with them, because if I give them even one kill, they'll probably snowball out of control with the whole game, like a Draven or maybe even a Lucian at that point, because Lucian's pretty powerful right now. So let's say I wanted to go, not that this is a good rune page, by the way, that you should actually go. Let's say I wanted to go Grasp with the Undying. I wanted to go with, let's see, charge up a powerful attack. Some of these are kind of new, actually, so I have to read them a bit. I guess Shield Bash. Let's see, Conditioning for extra armor and magic resist. And then Overgrowth for extra permanent health and just kind of turtle and not do anything. And then for the sake of, I'll just leave sorcery alone. I can still go down here and go say double adaptive force and still get like 20 adaptive force. This one's the flex one, of course, but if I wanted some extra armor even or magic resist for the matchup, but then I could still just, casually just go, attack speed, attack damage, and then a defensive rune because they're not connected to this. In certain situations and scenarios, can we now take other things because the stats are so separated that we can still get what we want down here and then maybe get what we want up here too for certain matchups, certain mages, certain AD carries that bother us. Another one I want to bring up is Hail of Blades, because Hail of Blades was kind of hyped up to be a good DPS AD carry rune, but again, because of all the other stats that you'd be missing from not going precision, it was never really looked at beyond that, and only Jin right now takes it and he abuses the heck out of it, so that's probably not a good sign either. But again, if you want to go Hail of Blades now, well, now you can still go again down here, adaptive force damage, attack speed, magic resist, armor, etc, etc. They're separated. One of the best parts about this, you get all the good stuff about the runes we forged, and then some of the good stuff about the old rune system before last year. So with that being said, those are the questions I'm going to leave you guys off with. Is it just precision sorcery only still, or can we do more things beyond that? And then with the stats, what exact stats does Jinx probably want? I'm going to assume, because this was like the default option, attack speed and attack damage, both of them. But of course you can go all in on the attack damage, because again, Jinx does have the minigun, so she does have some built-in attack speed, even if you don't have extra attack speed from your runes. So that's going to be all for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe again and again, all of that good jazz. But I don't know which video will be next, because life can have a lot of kinks. So until next time, take care. GG, get jinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly.